back to first. One down in the bottom of the first inning. So one away, designated player Brooklyn Jones standing in. To first, and that will end the threat for Michigan Dearborn in the bottom of the first inning. We're an inning in, no runs on the board for either side as we head to the top of the second. 2 hits for Michigan Dearborn, but no runs to show for it after 1.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
All right, SummitCitySports.com welcoming you back for the top of the second inning. Apologies as our live stream just disappeared there for a moment. I'm not exactly sure what the issue is, but something certainly with the Wi-Fi. You did not miss anything in the first frame. No runs for either side. 2 total hits for Michigan Dearborn, but nothing to show for it in this one. Again, apologize for that. Not quite sure why the Wi-Fi didn't want to connect for us. Top of inning number 2, 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order for Lourdes as Hickman will lead things off. Hickman, Rumpf, and Aller come into the plate in the second. Elimination game, third game of the day, and a chopper towards third is foul. The rain is, yes, still coming down here in Fort Wayne as Lourdes and Michigan Dearborn are squaring off, and you can kind of see now with our camera how slow it is behind. We're having some issues with our network. Might just have to go to the full radio call as it's now 2-1 on Hickman. Designated player in the 4 spot. Had a hit in the first game against Indiana Tech, but no runs for Lourdes in that first contest. This is over to third. Marlowitz off a hop across to Gearhart. 5-3 for out number 1 of the second. Now Olivia Rumpf with 1 down. And it's one of those games here where we are just kind of in it with the rain for the next at least 20 minutes. Then we may get a break before more rain heads our way. Fingers crossed that we will get a break in this action as the off-speed pitch just stayed outside to third baseman Olivia Rumpf. Ava Aller, the right fielder, to hit next. Count evens up at 1-1 with Well, Michigan Dearborn led 3-1 until the bottom of the 6th inning against Lawrence Tech. Blue Devils scored 10 runs in the bottom of the 6th, and they win by mercy rule 11-3. 2-1 up in the zone. 3 balls in 1 strike now on Rumpf. In the air to left, Guthrie towards the line, looking up. This one drifts back and got over her head and out of the outstretched arm in left field for Guthrie. This lands down for a double, and Olivia Rumpf continues to hit the ball well today. That one a few feet shy of a home run, but Guthrie got all turned around in left field. And that moves a runner into scoring position for Lourdes. So Rumpf aboard at second. Ava Aller, the right fielder, with an RBI chance. Elimination game here in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference Tournament. 1 down in the top of the 2nd. This pitch goes to the backstop. Kraft will throw to third. Just late, and just hanging on to the bag with an outstretched arm was Rumpf. She'll move up on the wild pitch. 1 down, a ball on Aller, and a 1-0 count. Postuma throws. This is popped up behind home plate. Kraft just running out of room. 1-1. Postuma, junior right-hander, 5'9", Grass Lake, Michigan, Henry Ford Community College before coming to Michigan Dearborn. In the air to center. Will it be deep enough? Gruder makes the catch. Rumpf tagging for home, and she is in. Sacrifice fly produces a run for Lourdes. There are 2 down in the inning, and a 1-0 ball game off the sac fly from Aller, and that was a really important wild pitch that led to that run scoring. Left fielder Skylar Mitchell with 2 down. Maddie Dara would hit next. Nobody aboard with 2 away in the 2nd. First pitch up in the zone. Ball 1 to Mitchell. Again, just 4 total hits in the first game for Lourdes against Indiana Tech. Savannah Bravo, who more than likely will make a start tomorrow. This is popped up and out of play. Winner of this game keeps their season alive. They'll move into the 3 p.m. game tomorrow. You stay in the elimination or in the loser's bracket. It'll be another elimination game tomorrow for the winner of this one against the loser of that 1 p.m. game between Lawrence Tech and Indiana Tech. Up in the zone to Mitchell, 2 balls in 1 strike. Mitchell swings, fouls it back off the netting. 2 balls in 2 strikes. Rain has stopped for the time being. So this is on the ground to first. Gerhardt will take it to the bag herself. And that's the final out of the 2nd inning. But Lourdes is on the board as the Grey Wolves score off the sac fly from Aller. It is a 1-0 lead for Lourdes. First run of the day for the Grey Wolves between the 2 games. Michigan Dearborn coming to bat next.
As an adult going back to school, there's a lot to factor in. I have a family, I was working 60 hours a week. Finding time to get a degree was challenging. The flexibility of online classes at Indiana Tech made it possible. I'd tell anyone looking to further their education to look into Indiana Tech.
Bottom of the second inning, Lourdes with a 1-0 lead over Michigan-Dearborn. As we welcome you back, Lindsay Marlowitz will lead things off for Dearborn in the second. 1-0 lead for the Gray Wolves, and Lourdes scoring its first run of the day. This is on the ground to short, one hop and a tough hop, but still coming up with it is McGann. She goes on to first, and she stuck with it on that play, able to record the first out of the second. And took a tough hop in front of her. She was able to knock it down at least and then play it off her own glove. Catcher Ava Kraft with nobody aboard and one down. First pitch swinging again, this time on the ground to third. It's Rumpf across the diamond to Leggings, and two quick outs for Lourdes in the second. And we mentioned this in the last game, but now if you're Michigan-Dearborn, this is the spot where you got to take a couple pitches here because you were just out in the field, just gave up a run. You don't want Lourdes to go out on the field for a minute and then turn around and head back to the dugout. Right fielder Petrella, first pitch swinging, and it's a three-pitch inning defensively for Lourdes as Michigan-Dearborn goes down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. Could not have been better for Lourdes defensively in that frame. To the top of the third we go. SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
1-0 Lourdes, top of the third inning, and it's 8-9-1 in the batting order due up for the Gray Wolves as Indiana Tech defeated Lourdes earlier today. Lawrence Tech defeated Michigan-Dearborn, setting up this elimination game here in the postseason. Loser of this game will be done for the year. Eighth spot in the order, leading things off for Lourdes. Dara, Ryan, then back to the top with Smith. Dara got into this one to center field. She says it's gone. It is gone. Maddie Dara with a solo home run, her first home run of the season. And Lourdes takes a 2-0 lead. Catcher called it off the bat. Look at that replay. And watch Dara at the plate. She's running down the first base line. That hand goes up. She knew it was gone. Solo home run for Maddie Dara, and Lourdes has taken a 2-1 lead. First long ball of the year for the catcher. And exactly what the doctors ordered here for Lourdes. Michigan-Dearborn looking up, and after leading 3-1 against Lawrence Tech, they've allowed 12 runs since the last time they scored. First pitch ball up in the zone to Robin Ryan. Ryan locked down second base defensively, but hoping that bat starts to come to life a little bit here in the postseason. Just hit 157 during the regular season. 6 RBIs. (2-0) off the edge, 3 balls and no strikes. Postuma, the only one throwing right now. Nobody else is in action in the bullpen for Michigan Dearborn, so no change is going to be made at this point. And on the hands, fouled away. 3-1 count, swinging there on 3-0 for Ryan. There is a right-handed arm getting loose in the Lourdes bullpen. Ball 4, Ryan draws the walk. And after the solo home run, it's a walk, and the bottom 2 in the order have done their job. Flip the lineup over to the top with still nobody out, and a runner on at first. Jessica Smith grounded out to third in the first inning. Off speed to Smith, stayed too high, ball 1. Smith again sees one up in the zone. She's ahead 2-0. Jessica Smith, 11 walks coming into play today. .430 on base percentage. Gets down low in that crouch at the plate, trying to load up, and she takes a strike. 2-1. Lindsey McGann on deck. Then Taylor Legans would follow as Lourdes is trying to put up a couple runs here in the third. Smith fouls away the 2-1. Two balls and 2 strikes on Jessica Smith. Down in the turf, runner taken off for second. Throw is offline into center field, and that'll allow Ryan to go from second to third. A stolen base and then an error on the throw. And Lourdes have a runner aboard at third. And it is a 3-2 count on Smith, or 2-2 count, excuse me. On the ground to second. Runner caught up halfway in between, decides to go back to third. Nice job, Finlaw at second. Took a peek over there at third base. Runner cannot score. One down in the third. And now Lindsey McGann. First pitch swinging, popped up. You're going to want to let this one fall. It's going to get out of play anyway. 0-1. And defensively, they were in for that last at-bat. A little bit further back up the middle for McGann. They're pretty deep in the outfield, though. Anything in the air should score that run from third. 0-1 falls in the zone for a called strike. It's 0-2. Postuma's doing a nice job of keeping her team in this game right now after the solo home run and walk started the third. McGann on the ground to third, and it is foul as that one looked like it grazed the base runner Ryan on its way through. It is still 0-2. And that is why, folks, you're new to the game, you run in foul territory, because if the ball hits you in foul territory, you're good. 0-2. Too far outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ryan over at third, already a run scored in the third for Lourdes. They lead it 2-0. 1-2 into center, it's down for a base hit. Ryan scores, and an RBI single for Lindsey McGann. 3-0 Lourdes, with still one out in the third. Single and an RBI for McGann brings home Ryan. And it brings Taylor Leggins up to bat, but it'll be a new pitcher for Dearborn. Bohm going to come in relief in this game. One away, top of the third, and the Gray Wolves of Lourdes leading 3-0.
Is more than getting you back to your sport. It's about building a stronger version of you. Our team of experts uses state-of-the-art technology to build personalized care plans that get you healthy and back in action safely. With no physician order needed, contact us directly to receive top-quality care exactly when you need it. Call 260-266-4007. Visit one of our Fort Wayne locations or go to psmsports.com to learn more.
It's the top of the third, and it's time for a pitching change for Michigan Dearborn, as the new pitcher is Maggie Bohm, who we saw in that first game was really good through 5 innings, and then Lawrence Tech offensively able to come through in the 6th, and it was against both Bohm and then out of the bullpen. They were able to just tack on extra runs, and that's led us to here. As Bohm re-enters, well, she comes in for the first time in this game, but coming in to pitch again in her second game of the day. It was Bohm and then Jones late against Lawrence Tech for Michigan Dearborn. Taylor Leggins takes inside ball 2. But this is danger time. I know it's early, but Lourdes right now, after a good inning defensively, this one will drop, and everybody's going to be safe. Finlaw made the decision to let that ball drop to try and cut down a runner at second, and instead it's first and second, and an error defensively on Michigan Dearborn. With one down, Liv Hickman back to the plate. Sometimes you're trying to think ahead on what you will do if a ball's coming your way, and you think a little bit too much through that process, and that one landed in front of Finlaw where she probably should have just caught it. Now you're trying to get down, cut down the faster runner, but instead the error means still just one out. 1-1 count. Too far inside to Hickman. Count moves to 2-1. And we're back here tomorrow. 1 o'clock is our scheduled start time. Hickman lays off a 2-1 offering from Bohm downstairs, 3-1. Indiana Tech versus Lawrence Tech. That's our first game tomorrow. And the winner of this one will play the loser of that game at approximately 3 p.m. 3-1 on the ground to short. Nice play at short. Backhand to second for one. On to first. Unbelievable. 6-4-3 double play. And Michigan Dearborn with a defensive highlight to get through the top of the third. It's still 3-0 Lourdes as we head to the bottom of the third. SummitCitySports.com.
The online class portion of this PhD was extremely enticing because I do work full-time, I teach on the side of that, and I have a family. I definitely feel like I made the right decision.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
One of the best double plays you'll see at any level right here. On the ground to short, Cornell with a backhand to second, and Finlaw makes the quick turn to get the final out of the top half of the third. We welcome you back here in the bottom of the third inning. Cornell leading off things in the 8 spot, 8, 9, and 1 for Michigan Dearborn. Keeper with the 0-1. Bounces in 1 ball and 1 strike. Cornell at the plate. Starting again in game 2 after playing in that first game. Cornell, .234 batting average in the regular season. Little chopper foul towards third. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Cornell. Keeper checks the wristband. Cornell waits back on the off-speed pitch and punches this one back up the middle and into center field. Michigan Dearborn with another hit. This one a single into center, and Cornell is aboard at first with nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. Lestat Guthrie in the 9 spot. First time at the plate in game 2. And Guthrie ahead 1-0. Cornell on at first base. Again, the wind continues to blow towards center field. As the 1-0 trails outside and misses. 2 balls and no strikes to Guthrie. Guthrie into right field directly at Aller, who is in line, makes the catch. 1 down in the third. Back to the top of the order, Braylon Gruder with 1 out. Gruder singled and then was out on a fielder's choice their last time up. Turned to bunt, pulled it back. It was called a strike, and that makes the count 0-1. Bottom of inning number 3. 1 down, Indiana Tech, the host for this pod, as this one by Gruder is punched into left center field. It gets past the left fielder, Mitchell, and it's going to roll all the way to the fence. Run will score for Dearborn, and Gruder is into third. First run of the game for Michigan Dearborn. And the triple for Gruder picks up an RBI. And misplayed out there in left field by Mitchell. Didn't get a good read on that ball. And that helps produce a run. Gerhardt in the air to right. And this is out of play, 0-1. Gerhardt reaching on that fielder's choice back in the first as Michigan Dearborn fighting back here in the bottom of the third inning. With 1 down, Cornell scores off the triple from Gruder. Gerhardt on the ground to short. Throw to first is in time. 6-3. A couple of pump fakes there from McGann to make sure that Gruder wasn't going anywhere. 2 down for Brooklyn Jones. Jones, .270 batting average, home run and 8 runs driven in at the plate this season. Obviously saw her in the circle against Lawrence Tech, and the ability to both swing it and pitch it. I do see that a little bit more in this conference where pitchers will hit consistently. Too far outside, 2-0 on Jones. Gruder over at third, 2 down, bottom of the third. 3-1 lead for Lourdes. And that is off the outside corner, 3 balls and no strikes. Postema scheduled to hit next. It is a called strike to Jones, makes it 3-1. Lourdes scored 2 in the top of this inning. Michigan-Dearborn back with a run, trying to make it 2. Jones checked her swing. She did not go, although we will get the check to first anyway. She did not go, and it's runners on the corners. 4 spot. And instead of Postema, it'll be Maggie Bohm. Bohm replacing Postema in the circle in the last inning. Gets a chance to swing the bat. Off the plate, ball 1. Bohm, 261 at the plate during the regular season. 2 home runs and 10 RBIs. Takes a called strike on the inside corner from keeper, 1-1. Got started a little bit after 2:20 with this final game of the day. We'll play 2 tomorrow and potentially 2 on Sunday. Low and inside, 2-1 count. Maggie Bohm, first plate appearance of Game 3. Wave and a miss at the 2-1 offering to Bohm, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference and softball elimination game number 1. Somebody's season going to come to a close here today. Too far off the outside corner. It's now 3-2. Jones over at first base will be on the move with this pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 down, bottom of the third. Here is the payoff. And Bohm takes down low, draws the walk, and the bases are now full for Michigan-Dearborn with 2 outs. And Lindsay Marlowitz batting with a chance to break this game open. And the first pitch misses to Marlowitz, ball 1. Cornerstone taking on Northwestern Ohio currently. That game is in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3-2 is the score there. The loser of that one will play Aquinas still today. Madonna defeating Aquinas 6-2. As time is called out on the field and just making sure that the pitcher keeper is okay. They're going to go through some of the charts with Marlowitz. Everybody from Michigan-Dearborn talking on that third base side. Crucial spot right now for Dearborn here in the third. 3-1 they trail. But the opportunity has presented itself. 2 hits, 2 walks in the inning. Keeper. 2-0. In the air towards right center. It's the second baseman, Ryan, on the run towards the outfield, who's able to make the catch. and it leaves the bases loaded for Michigan Dearborn in the third. A run back on the board for the Wolverines, but they trail the Gray Wolves 3-1 heading to the top of the fourth. SummitCitySports.com. Glad to be with you on your Friday afternoon.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Top of the fourth, 3-1. The score in favor of Lourdes, the number 7 seed, leading the number 6 seed. Late over at Madonna. Cornerstone and Northwestern Ohio are now tied at 3 in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. Northwestern Ohio has the game-winning run at second base. Five, 6, and 7 in the batting order for Lourdes. Olivia Rompf, who doubled and scored in the second. Bohm bounces this one in, and it's now 3 balls and no strikes on Rompf. So number 4, Northwestern Ohio leads number 5 is tied with number 5 Cornerstone 3-3 in the bottom of the 7th, but they got 2 runners on base, first and second. A hit could walk it off in that game. It's now a 3-1 count on Rompf, and something a little bit different. We have seen Lourdes be aggressive on those 3-0 pitches. We saw the 9-hole hitter, Robin Ryan, take a swing at a 3-0 offering. Bohm, 3-1 delivery into the zone, and she battles back from 3-0 to make it 3-2. Rompf, Aller, Mitchell due up in the fourth. Rompf in the air, shallow center field. Coming in is Gruder to make the catch. Leadoff batter is out. To begin the fourth. Cornerstone in Northwestern Ohio. Game-winning run for Northwestern Ohio is over at third, but there are now 2 outs in the 7th. Just trying to keep you up to date with everything that's going on in that pod. It's just as important as everything that's happening here. Sets the stage for the pod championship next week. Into right field, Aller with a base hit. On a 1-out single for Lourdes. And they haven't really gotten to the pitcher Bohm. Picked up a couple runs against the starter Postema. Looking for time over down the third baseline. And a change with a pinch runner coming in. Cammie Heath on to run over at first. So Mitchell comes to bat with Heath aboard at first. First pitch swinging. Mitchell in the air to center all the way back to the warning track. The catch is made by Gruder. Tagging up from first to second is Heath. There are 2 down in the inning as Mitchell just missed out on a home run. Cornerstone and Northwestern Ohio are going to extras, 3-3. That game heading to the top of the 8th inning. Dara, she homered in her first at-bat today. Takes the first pitch strike 0-1. That was the first home run of the season for Maddie Dara, the catcher. Part of a 2-run third inning for Lourdes. They lead it 3-1 in the fourth. Dara was loaded up for it, decided not to swing. It's now 0-2. Ninth spot, Robin Ryan would hit next. This is pounded foul down the third base line. Cammie Heath, the runner at second base, in to replace Ava Aller, and we saw why. That speed on a fly ball to center field to go from first to second on a tag. 0-2, chopper towards the middle and through into center. Heath turns around third. She's going to score, and Lourdes has taken a 4-1 lead on another RBI from the catcher, Maddie Dara. Patient at the plate, saw something she could hit, and just took it right back where it came from. Back up the middle, found its way through. 2 down in the fourth, but it's now 4-1 as this is fouled back over our head by Robin Ryan. 0-1 count. 2 hits in the inning, 5 total hits in the game for Lourdes. On a line to third, goes off the glove, knocked down by the shortstop Cornell, stays on the infield, but everybody's safe on another hit for Lourdes. Third hit of the inning. Back to the top of the order, Jessica Smith. Smith 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. Low and away, ball 1. 6 hits now for Lourdes. 2 defensive errors by Michigan Dearborn. That won't go down as an error, but has had some mistakes defensively in this game as Smith fouls it back 1-1. In top of the 8th inning over at Madonna, Cornerstone in Northwestern Ohio tied at 3. Off speed, up high to Smith. 2-1 count. Ryan at first, Dara at second. Already a run on the board in the fourth. Smith in the air to left. Guthrie comes in, makes the catch. And we are through 3.5 innings in Fort Wayne. Lourdes adds another. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 4-1 lead for the Gray Wolves over Michigan Dearborn. SummitCitySports.com.
As an adult going back to school, there's a lot to factor in. I have a family, I was working 60 hours a week. Finding time to get a degree was challenging. The flexibility of online classes at Indiana Tech made it possible. I'd tell anyone looking to further their education to look into Indiana Tech.
Getting a degree is about timing and what's important to you. For me, it was after I was married with 2 kids. It was a busy time, but the flexibility of online classes at Indiana Tech worked for my life. Indiana Tech was everything I needed it to be right when I needed it.
Ava Kraft leads things off for Michigan Dearborn in the bottom of the 4th inning. SummitCitySports.com, glad to be with you. It is a first pitch strike to Kraft. 4-1, Lourdes leads Michigan Dearborn. Bottom of the 4th inning. Elimination game between number 6 and number 7, but the lower seed currently, or higher seed, I guess, number 7 Lourdes, lower on the rankings side of things. You know what I'm saying, with the 4-1 advantage. Kraft lays off a 1-1, called ball 2. Petrella, then Cornell, scheduled to hit in the 4th. 2-1 on the ground to third. Romph gloves, goes over to first. And that is the second time in this game that Kraft has grounded out to Romph. 1 down in the 4th. Now back in the second inning, it was Marlowitz, Kraft, and Petrella who went down in order on 3 pitches. Gotta make it a little bit more taxing of an inning for keeper this time around. First pitch strike, 0-1 to Petrella. She popped out to short. First at bat today. .235 batting average during the regular season. Missed low and away, 1-1. Shortstop Hannah Cornell singled and scored in the last inning. She is the only run on the board for Dearborn. Waiting in the on-deck circle. Keeper with a 1-1. To left center field, long run for Mitchell. It's going to land in the gap between Mitchell and Smith. And a 1-out double for Petrella. Extra base hit for Michigan Dearborn. Some solid contact. May get the offense moving in the right direction again. Here is Hannah Cornell. First pitch called strike, 0-1. Cornell from the right side. That's single in the last inning. Seeing the ball well from keeper, who pours it back into the strike zone, 0-2. Petrella at second, 1 away, 0-2 from keeper, low and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 4 runs on 6 hits for Lourdes, 1 run on 5 hits for Michigan Dearborn. They have committed 2 errors defensively. (1-2) stays above the letters, 2 balls and 2 strikes. RBI chance for Cornell. Too far away from keeper, and from 0-2 to 3-2. Seen a couple different times these two teams battling through at-bats. Petrella at second. 3-2 from keeper. Cornell into the air to right. Going back, leaping up is Aller. She makes the catch. Allow the runner to tag from second to third. Out number 2, Petrella now 60 feet from scoring. And it's the 9 spot in the order with Lestat Guthrie. Guthrie, freshman from Taylor, Michigan. Allen Park High School graduate. And first pitch into the zone. It's a strike, 0-1. Guthrie flew out to right field in the last frame. Any sort of base hit brings home a run here for Dearborn, makes it a 2-run ball game. Time is called. This keeper trying to get ready to go through the process. Guthrie had stepped out of the box, but the umpire called for time. Guthrie back to the circle. Keeper underhand toss to Leggins. And Michigan Dearborn is kept off the scoreboard in the 4th. It's a 3-run lead for Lourdes as we head to the top of the 5th. SummitCitySports.com live on the Indiana Tech Athletics YouTube channel.
The online class portion of this PhD was extremely enticing because I do work full-time, I teach on the side of that, and I have a family. I definitely feel like I made the right decision.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Three runs the advantage for Lourdes as we begin the top of the fifth inning. 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order for the Gray Wolves. It's McGann, Leggins, and Hickman. A run in the second, 2 in the third, 1 more in the fourth. Offensively for Lourdes, McGann swings through the 1-0 offering. It's 1-1. The 1 run for Michigan Dearborn in the bottom of the third. Back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock for a game in the winner's bracket. Winner of that one moves on to the championship game on Sunday. We could play 2 Sunday, but you're guaranteed to play for a spot in the pod championship. This is on the ground to third. Marlowitz to Gerhardt, 1 away in the fifth. So Indiana Tech versus Lawrence Tech tomorrow, 1 p.m. Winner of that moves on to play at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Loser moves into an elimination game where they take on the winner of this one. That'll be at approximately 3 p.m. Leggins in the air to right, Petrella underneath it. 2 quick outs in the fifth as Bohm has really settled into this game for Michigan Dearborn. You kind of wonder if it should have been Bohm getting the start in this game as well. It's a lot of innings to try and eat. On the ground is short, 1 hop, Cornell to first, and the quickest top half of an inning so far today for Michigan Dearborn. 3 up, 3 down offensively for Lourdes. Dearborn back to the dugout, and Michigan Dearborn trailing by 3, looking for some offense when we come back. SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
I already had an associate degree, but I always knew I wanted to earn my bachelor's. Indiana Tech made it possible, even while working a full-time job. The online classes were great. I'd tell anyone thinking about college to enroll in Indiana Tech today.
Northwestern Ohio defeats Cornerstone 4-3 in 8 innings. So Northwestern Ohio will move on to tomorrow to play Madonna in the winner's bracket. Cornerstone will face Aquinas in the loser's bracket as this bunt attempt went foul and ends up going off of Dara behind the plate. It is an 0-1 count. Top of the batting order for Michigan Dearborn. Gruder leading things off, and it is unfortunately the second time today that we've seen a catcher go down. Saw Kirsten Delaney go down in the first game on a catcher's interference. It is an 0-1 count on Gruder. Gruder, Gerhardt, Jones. Top 3 in the order for Michigan Dearborn. Keeper in the circle again. Infield is drawn in. Defensively, the outfield is in as well, expecting the slap from Gruder. 0-1, there is the slap approach. It's lifted foul and on top of the Lourdes dugout. 0-2. Gruder, RBI triple, brought home the only run of the game for Michigan Dearborn. 0-2, fell back into the zone, called strike 3. One down in the 5th. And the first strikeout for keeper comes here in the 5th inning. Right-hander, as we mentioned, 50 strikeouts over 67 innings pitched. So Michigan Dearborn's did a nice job of staying balanced, but haven't been able to really come through offensively. This will help, though. Gearhart splits the gap in left center field. Perfectly placed ball, and she'll trot into second base with a one-out double. Brings up Brooklyn Jones. Maggie Bohm on deck. This brings up Brooklyn Jones, who walked in the 3rd. Designated player in Game 2 after pitching in relief at the end of the first game. First pitch swinging for Jones. This off the end of the bat. Floats out to second, and Ryan camps underneath it. 2 down. Strong, solid contact is what it sounded like, but it just hit the wrong part of the barrel off the top of the bat instead of in the sweet spot. Maggie Bohm with 2 down and a runner in scoring position. Hello, high and tight, ball 1. Lindsay Marlowitz in the on-deck circle. Michigan Dearborn, one of those innings where you really need to come away with 1. You don't have to get all 3 back here in the 5th, but you're looking up and counting outs, and a run here just puts the pressure on Lourdes a little bit more. Downstairs too low, 2-1 count on Bohm. First at bat for Bohm in Game 2 of the day, Game 3 in total, but Game 2 for Michigan Dearborn, she walked. 2-1, serve to the right side of the infield. Ryan comes in, goes to the underhand toss to first, and we are through 5 innings. It's a 4-1 lead for Lourdes over Michigan Dearborn. Gray Wolves trying to win all 3 games this year against the Wolverines, trying to, most importantly, keep their season alive.
For athletes of all sports, PSM's Edge training program is a personalized, high-intensity experience designed to help you outperform the competition. Whether you're looking to enhance your speed, strength, power, agility, or overall fitness, our expert training staff will build a program that adapts to your schedule while maximizing your overall performance. Now accepting athletes 12 years old and up. Get started today. Schedule your free evaluation at psmsports.com/edge.
The athletic trainers on hand today here at Indiana Tech are from Parkview Sports Medicine. Glad that they're with us again on Summit City Sports. Olivia Rompf will lead things off for Lourdes. Top of the 6th inning, a 4-1 lead in favor of the Gray Wolves. First pitch ball, 1-0 to Rompf, who doubled and scored in the 2nd, flew out to center in the 4th. Bohm into the zone, gets the called strike 1-1. Do have Indiana Tech baseball going on today. 1-1 turned, sent into left field towards the line. Guthrie makes the catch. 1 out in the 6th. Pinch hitter Cammie Heath stayed in the game in place of Aller in right field. First pitch strike to Heath, who came in as the pinch runner in the 4th, ran in place of Aller and has stayed in the game. .438 on base percentage for Heath. She swings and misses at the 0-1 offering from Bohm to go along with a .357 batting average. 6 RBIs, 6 walks, 11 strikeouts in 25 games played. And that is called strike 3. Quick at bat there as Bohm picks up the K. 2 down for Skylar Mitchell. We've had some rain here in the Fort Wayne area today. Right now, there is some light showers still potentially coming our way in the next hour. But hopefully just light rain. We can do with a little bit of light rain. 1-1 count on Mitchell. Maddie Dara on deck. She's 2 for 2 today. Mitchell got into one, flew out to the warning track in center her last time up. 2-1 count. Lourdes was in that game with Indiana Tech from the start to the finish. 1-0. That was it. Both teams with 4 hits. Down low, 3-1. Mitchell lays off and draws the walk. It's been Maddie Dara's game at the plate. First home run of the season and an RBI single. She's 2 for 2. First pitch strike 0-1. 4-1 Lourdes, top of the 6th. And it'll be Cornerstone and Aquinas at the other pod playing in an elimination game. Winner of this one keeps their season alive, their postseason hopes alive, at least until tomorrow. 3 p.m. start time. It'll be the second game of the day. Oh, 0-2 count, 2 down. Dara taps one foul, stays alive. Mitchell aboard at first. Oh, 2, fouled away. Remains no balls and 2 strikes on Dara. Bohm in relief. Came in the third. Has kept Lourdes at bay for the most part since she entered. Snap back throw to first. Got a chance. They got her. Great throw from Kraft. Gearhart applies the tag. And Lourdes runs out of the top half of the 6th. Still a 3-run lead for the Gray Wolves as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. SummitCitySports.com.
Getting a degree is about timing and what's important to you. For me, it was after I was married with 2 kids. It was a busy time, but the flexibility of online classes at Indiana Tech worked for my life. Indiana Tech was everything I needed it to be, right when I needed it.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
I got my bachelor's degree at Indiana Tech. It was an easy choice when choosing where to get my master's degree too. The flexibility of online classes allowed me to go back to school while still building my career, and the professors were always...
Lourdes with a 3-run lead over Michigan Dearborn. Lindsay Marlowitz, Ava Kraft, Elizabeth Petrella. Those are your scheduled hitters for Dearborn in the 6th. First pitch missing up for ball 1. Marlowitz 0 for 2 today. Keeper working into the 6th inning. She has pitched all 15 outs so far. On the ground to short. Make it 16 on this throw to first. McCann to Legans. 1 down in the 6th. Now the catcher, Ava Kraft, who had a perfectly executed back pick to end the top of this inning, but can that get that spark flowing here for Michigan Dearborn? Check swing is foul over towards third, 0-1. Kraft, Petrella, and then it would be Cornell after that, but you're at the bottom of the order right now. As time is called, they're going to get a new softball into play. Seen a coach from both teams whose duty all of a sudden is to dry softballs. Kraft is grounded out to third twice. Down low, 1-1. Nobody aboard, one away, bottom of the sixth. 5 outs to get defensively for Lourdes to extend their season. Kraft to short, knocked down. McCann to first, throw is offline. It goes into the dugout and will allow the runner to reach second base. So will go down as the first error defensively against Lourdes. The E6, and it's Elizabeth Petrella with one down. Runner in scoring position. Petrella doubled in her last at-bat. Over to second, Ryan makes the catch, flips to McGann. It's a double play. Pop out to 4. Ryan makes the quick turn, and we go to the 7th inning. 4-1. Lourdes looking for some insurance runs. Michigan Dearborn season is on the line, and they're trying to make sure they only need 3 runs to keep it alive when we come back.
As an adult going back to school, there's a lot to factor in. I have a family, I was working 60 hours a week. Finding time to get a degree was challenging. The flexibility of online classes at Indiana Tech made it possible. I'd tell anyone looking to further their education to look into Indiana Tech.
Top of the 7th, 4-1. Lourdes leading Michigan Dearborn. SummitCitySports.com live. Indiana Tech Athletics on YouTube. Glad that you are with us. 8-9-1 in the batting order as Dara gets another look at Bohm. First pitch swinging, and Dara takes advantage of the extra opportunity. Dumps one out into left field. It's a leadoff single for the Gray Wolves to start the top of the 7th. And Lourdes defeated Michigan Dearborn twice during the regular season. Dearborn ended up a game in front of Lourdes to get the 6th seed instead of the 7th seed. That's why they are the home team here in Game 3 of the day. Game 2 for each of these clubs. 1-0 count on Robin Ryan. We'll have 2 games, just 2 tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock. Ryan, fouled it off her own foot. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, you can tell why she has played every game this year defensively for Lourdes with the leather she's put on display out at second. She's got a walk and a single in this game as well as a run scored. As we talked about coming in, if she kind of finds that bat here, the tail end of the season, Lourdes becomes a lot more dangerous at the bottom of the order, and we have seen what the bottom of the order can do for you. Dara with 2 RBIs. And they just keep coming at you. Senior from Norton, Ohio, awaits on the 2-2. It's up in the zone, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Do you get aggressive if you're Lourdes here on a 3-2? Dara, maybe not your fastest runner as your catcher. 3-2 fouled back, went off the helmet of Kraft. Top of the order, Jessica Smith scheduled to hit next, although looks like there's a pinch hitter in place, Carly Connard, waiting. 3-2. Ryan again stays alive, spoiled it. Top of the 7th. Nobody out for Lourdes as they look to add on here in the 7th inning. All 4 runs scored between innings 2 and 4. A 2-spot in the 3rd with ones on either side. 3-2 is too low. Ball 4. First and second. Nobody out. Top of the order coming up. And we will have a pinch hitter for Lourdes at the top of the order. Carly Connard coming to bat. So Connard in place of Smith. Smith 0 for 3 here in game 2. First pitch off the plate. Ball 1. Connard. Pinch hit in the first game as well. One of those options that Lourdes really likes off the bench. First and second, nobody out. Ooh, just off the outside corner to Connard here. 2-0. Rain has stayed away for the most part here this afternoon. Pretty nice day here in Fort Wayne. 2-0. Connard out to right. Coming in. Petrella makes the catch, and she's going to double up Dara at second. Got aggressive. And it's a 9-6 double play. 2 outs in the 7th. And now just a runner aboard at first with 2 down. Lindsey McGann. First pitch down low, ball 1. Nice play by Petrella. Not only does she make that catch on a scorcher to right field, but heads up, immediately got it into second. Ryan on at first. On the corner, called strike 1-1. Dara must have not gotten a good read on that ball because she was off for third almost instantly. Again, foul tip back into the glove. Snap throw to first. Gerhardt has to climb the ladder to keep that ball from sailing into right field. Saved an error defensively. 1-2 count on McGann. 1 for 2 today with a walk and an RBI. In the air to left. Guthrie makes the catch. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Michigan Dearborn needs at least 3 runs to keep their season alive. We'll see if they can get it done when we return to Indiana Tech.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
I already had an associate degree, but I always knew I wanted to earn my bachelor's. Indiana Tech made it possible, even while working a full-time job. The online classes were great. I'd tell anyone thinking about college to enroll in Indiana Tech today.
Last bats for Michigan Dearborn. Season on the line here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and these are the hardest outs to get defensively. And when a team knows that their season is hanging in the balance, trying to figure things out offensively, which Michigan Dearborn has been unable to figure things out offensively here today. 8-9-1 in the batting order. Cornell scheduled to lead things off. This is not Cornell, though. See if we can get a number on the back of this jersey as keeper's first pitch is off the plate, ball one. Oneka Ulick batting for the first time today. Ulick fouls it off into the Michigan Dearborn dugout, 1-1. So Oneka Ulick, first at bat today for the senior, St. Cloud, Minnesota. One and one. Keeper trying to throw the complete game for Lourdes. Inside 2-1 count. Keeper on the hill this year. 18th total appearance, her 12th start. 4.5 ERA, but she's had her best stuff today. Ulick in the air, shallow right field, coming in, and Heath calls off Ryan to make the catch. One out in the bottom of the seventh. Michigan Dearborn 16-21, 16-20 during the regular season, 10-10 in the conference. As we're going to see another pinch hitter for Michigan Dearborn in this spot. It'll be Claire Mulebrandt batting with one out. Mulebrandt replacing Guthrie. Saw her in action in the first game as well. First pitch poured into the zone, strike one. Back here tomorrow, 1 and 3 are scheduled start times for those two games. And it looks right now like Lourdes going to be staying overnight, getting ready for tomorrow with at least that one game, hoping they punch their ticket to Sunday. 0-2. Keeper just off the plate a little bit low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mulebrandt at the dish, 143 hitter during the regular season. Keeper looks in the dugout. Rocks delivers 1-2. Oh, that had a chance of coming to us in the press box. Got the top of the netting instead and remains a 1-2 count. Strikeout. Keeper gets the big K. Out number 2 as Mulebrandt goes down swinging. And Mulebrandt retired. Back to the top of the order, Braylon Gruder. And potentially the last chance for Michigan Dearborn today. Gruder looks at a first pitch called strike 0-1. 2 for 3 today against Keeper, but she did go down looking on strikes in her last at-bat. 0-1, popped up, foul territory, does get down, but Michigan Dearborn is down to its final strike of the season potentially. One o'clock tomorrow, we'll get things started. Lawrence Tech and Indiana Tech in the winner's bracket. Loser will play an elimination game against the winner of this one. Lourdes a strike away from moving on. Too far outside, 1-2. Keeper 1-2, spoiled by Gruder. Trying to at least let Gearhart see another at bat. She's been the best hitter all season long for Michigan Dearborn. Jones after that, if you can get to Gearhart, have to feel like in this spot she'd be able to move the line. 1-2, Off speed, stayed up. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Gruder. Two-two. Gruder slaps it left side of the infield. Romped to first, not in time. And legging out an infield single for Dearborn with 2 down. And now Kendall Gearhart will get a chance with 2 away. This is the one batter you did not want to see if you were Lourdes in this inning. That meant that Dearborn still got a chance. They didn't go down 1-2-3. First pitch too far off the plate to Gearhart, ball 1. Brooklyn Jones is on deck, and then it would be Maggie Bohm. Michigan Dearborn down to its final out here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 away with Gruder at first. Gearhart in the air towards shallow right field. Coming in is Heath. She makes the catch, and Lourdes defeats Michigan Dearborn. 4-1 is your final score. The season comes to a close for Dearborn with their record at 16-22. Lourdes gets its 13th win of the season. They improve to 13-18. And the Gray Wolves will move on to tomorrow. Tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, about 3 p.m., Lourdes will face the loser of our first game of the day, Indiana Tech facing Lawrence Tech. That comes your way tomorrow at 1 p.m. Make sure you're back here for that. We'll be live on the YouTube channel. Hopefully we'll have fewer bandwidth issues, but you just never know. Lourdes 4, Michigan Dearborn 1, and that is the final here on day 1. The Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference Tournament. Don't forget, we've got Cornerstone and Aquinas going on right now at Madonna in their elimination game. Madonna moving on to play Northwestern Ohio tomorrow in the winner's bracket. 4-1 is your final score. Michigan Dearborn falls to Lourdes, and they have been eliminated from postseason contention. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Lawrence Tech and Indiana Tech here on SummitCitySports.com.
As an adult going back to school, there's a lot to factor in. I have a family, I was working 60 hours a week. Finding time to get a degree was challenging. The flexibility of online classes at Indiana Tech made it possible. I'd tell anyone looking to further their education to look into Indiana Tech.
Getting a degree is about timing and what's important to you. For me, it was after I was married with 2 kids. It was a busy time, but the flexibility of online classes at Indiana Tech worked for my life. Indiana Tech was everything I needed it to be, right when I needed it.
Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
I got my bachelor's degree at Indiana Tech. It was an easy choice when choosing where to get my master's degree too. The flexibility of online classes allowed me to go back to school while still building my career, and the professors were always there to make sure I was successful.
As an adult going back to school, there's a lot to factor in. I have a family, I was working 60 hours a week. Finding time to get a degree was challenging. The flexibility of online classes at Indiana Tech made it possible. I'd tell anyone looking to further their education to look into Indiana Tech.
The online class portion of this PhD was extremely enticing because I do work full-time, I teach on the side of that, and I have a family. I definitely feel like I made the right decision.
I already had an associate degree, but I always knew I wanted to earn my bachelor's. Indiana Tech made it possible, even while working a full-time job. The online classes were great. I'd tell anyone